Alright.
You're going to have to at least get me a little bit more emojis.
At least we're all here listening.
Does Poppy count?
Hello everyone, my name is Matt. I'm going to be giving a speech today on the iPod. The iPod is an MP3 player unlike any other that was designed and manufactured by Apple. The iPod has evolved over the years, and through this evolution has changed the way the society accesses music. The iPod has majorly evolved since it was first put on the market. The look of the iPod has changed over the years. I have with me today a pretty basic looking one. I'll pass that around. Good to see you. Since the release of the first iPod in the year 2001, Apple has released new and increasingly sleek versions of the iPod. The first, second, and third generation iPods were thought to be big and relatively bulky. In 2004, Apple introduced the iPod Mini, which was small and was also the first iPod available in color. In 2005, Apple introduced the iPod Shuffle, the smallest iPod thus far. And this year, the iPod Nano has replaced the iPod Mini and would go on to become the best-selling music player of all time. In 2007, Apple sold millions of new music players by introducing the iPod Touch and the iPhone. These additions to the Apple lineup had the largest screens yet, and that's coming from Apple Inc. on the website. The function and capabilities of the iPod have evolved since the introduction of the first iPod. The first iPods on the market had minimal capabilities. One issue that many consumers had with the product was that it could only play music, which they believed wasn't worth it for such a high price point, which was $399 at the time. As the iPod evolved into what is currently more and more capabilities were added. The biggest jump in the iPod world came with the release of the iPod Touch and the iPhone in 2007. With the iPod Touch and iPhones came applications that allowed users to access innumerable resources just from touching the screen of their music players and cell phones. Weather, social media networks, maps, GPS, online shopping forums, calculators, games, newspapers, even the Bible was now accessible. The uses for iPod and iPhone applications are far-reaching. A study conducted in 2008 concluded that there is limitless potential for the iPod to enrich teaching, learning, and professional development. And that's a journal thing coming from Fate, Kim, and Massey. The iPod has majorly impacted the way society accesses music. Before MP3 players, every portable music source required a disc or some other sort of input to play music. The iPod is literally a computer. It has memory and processing capabilities. However, what was unique about the first generation iPod in comparison to other computers was that it was designed solely for one purpose: to play music. The amount of storage that the iPod has allowed consumers to hold an unprecedented amount of music on an MP3 player. Even the first generation of iPod allowed users to hold 1,000 songs. With the iPod, a user can carry their entire music collection in their pocket. Another way that the iPod revolutionized music was by introducing consumers to Shuffle. Shuffle is a feature that allows iPod and iPhone users to let the machine decide what song they listen to, rather than having to select each song they want to hear. This feature has in some ways helped music consumers deviate from viewing music by albums. Instead, consumers now buy individual songs. In conclusion, the iPod is one of the most successful products ever developed by Apple. The iPod evolved from a bulky device that could hold 1,000 songs into a sleek and popular device that has a touchscreen, various applications, and an innumerable amount of songs, all at a user's fingertips. The iPod revolutionized the way the society accesses music. The iPod did not only inspire the direction that other MP3 players manufacturers went, but it also spawned ideas for today's smartphones. Without the iPod for inspiration, portable music and cell phone technologies could have potentially taken a different route and would never know the ease and accessibility that we have today. And that's it. Thank y'all for your time.